Hi, I'm Danny Lipford.
And I'm Chelsea Lipford-Wolf.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show. Just a week ago, this was a dining room, this was a laundry room, and this was a kitchen. With our new plan, all of it's going to be kitchen.
Today's Homeowner with Danny Lipford, the voice of home improvement, with projects, tips, and ideas to help you improve your home.
This project has so many elements that we deal with all the time in larger kitchen renovations projects, like removing multiple layers of flooring that have piled up over the years so that we can install all new flooring. Also removing a number of walls like we did here that used to be a utility room to really open the space up, and we'll be improving the brightness of this room by utilizing the two existing windows on the front of the house. But the thing that'll make the biggest difference is the removal of a large section of this wall that'll incorporate this kitchen in with a new living area that's being built. Hey, if you've ever thought about doing anything with your kitchen to modernize it a bit and maybe expand it, you need to stick around. This kitchen renovation is well underway. We've completed all of the demolition and removal of walls and the ceiling material, and our electricians are busy putting in a number of lights and a lot of wiring that's always required on a renovation of this size. Now, the homeowners lived in this house a number of months before they decided to do any renovation, but they knew right away the kitchen was one room that needed a lot of help. Although the kitchen we started with wasn't unattractive, it wasn't meeting the owner's needs. Primarily, there wasn't enough space here for the open family kitchen they wanted. Walls and doorways separated the kitchen from other family spaces, and the breakfast area was too small for more than just one or two people to be comfortable. The black and white vinyl floor wasn't the look the owners were after, and the tiles themselves were starting to show some wear. The cabinets and laminate countertops were in pretty good shape, but there simply wasn't enough storage and preparation space in the old kitchen.
I do the majority of the cooking. She's the baker. I'm the one that cooks most of the meals. And being open, we're doing the stovetop on the gas range on the island, and being able to be open to the eating area and the den and even the study to a certain extent, to where if the kids or she are busy doing something, we're all still together at night, because we do the majority of nights cook and sit down and have dinner together. So it's an opportunity for me to be with them while I'm cooking and all be together, kind of. And I've always wanted a really nice kitchen to cook in, so it's kind of I'm letting her get an ice maker in there, maybe.
That's my one little thing.
That's her contribution to the kitchen.
Well, if there wasn't enough room in the old plan for Tina's ice maker, there certainly should be in the new plan. We're doubling the space in the combined kitchen breakfast area from just over 200 square feet to more than 400 square feet. The removal of the laundry room and the dining room wall will significantly open up this space. That ice maker will fit nicely into Rob's spacious island, along with his large new 5-burner gas cooktop. There will also be plenty of seating for the whole family on the opposite side of the island. Even though the space is large, the layout will create a fairly compact work triangle between the cooktop, refrigerator, and sink. The double ovens will also fit nicely into that workflow. The cased opening to the family room will make it feel even more open, and the breakfast area will accommodate everyone comfortably, plus add lots of natural light to the space. That's good, because we have to remove one large window on the back of the house. You may have noticed on the blueprints in this area of the kitchen will be a large pantry cabinet. Boy, that's very popular in almost any kitchen renovation that we do. But in order to create the wall space we needed to install the pantry, we had to remove a large window that was here that looked out into the backyard. You can still see the header that's in place. It was removed, and this was all studded up to close it in. But to compensate for that loss of natural light, we created a space for a new window that was installed, and we replaced an existing existing window with one that matches the new one we installed here. Now the key thing here is that the window's high enough that you have plenty of space for the cabinetry and countertop to continue under the windows. This way the homeowners can still keep an eye out on the kids out in the backyard. Now our next step here is a series of inspections. We'll have to have the inspection for the electrical, the air conditioning, framing, and plumbing before any walls can be installed. But after that, we'll be ready for insulation and drywall. Because this is an older home, Rob and Tina's utility bills should benefit greatly from the layer of insulation we're adding to all of the exterior walls. When the insulation is complete, the drywall hangers go to work. They start on the ceiling and quickly begin covering up all of the framing and new insulation so that the finishing crew can go to work smoothing out the seams and filling in all the nail and screw holes. In addition to the drywall on the ceiling and the walls, we also had a patch that was necessary to close off the cased opening that was originally here between what was the dining room and the adjacent living room. Now with this closed off, that's kind of the final step in the transformation of this area becoming the breakfast room and kitchen area. Now the homeowners can really visualize just the kind of space they have here to work with, but they needed a little additional visual aid for the island and the space that it would occupy in the center of the kitchen. You can see we've taken a piece of plywood and kind of marked off the drawers area, the cooktop, ice maker on this end, wine rack on the very end, and then the overhang on this part of it that will serve as a little breakfast bar. Even the recessed lights are indicated there. Now we're not far away from needing some cabinets here, and we'll look at the installation of the cabinets and the completion of this kitchen right after our simple solution.
It's time for this week's Simple Solution from home repair expert Joe Truini.
It may look like Joe's about to decorate a cake, but actually he's solving a problem that was created when new windows were installed in this home.
Well, in this case, if you take a close look, you'll see there's a long, regular gap that's formed between the window and the drywall return where this plaster is. So what we need to do is fill that. And the easiest way to do that is with a pastry bag that has a tip that has about an 1/8 inch diameter hole in it. And I just took a narrow putty knife and I filled up the bag with joint compound. And I twisted out all the air. Now I'm just going to put the tip right against that crack, squeeze the bag, and as you'll see, you'll just get a nice narrow bead of joint compound to fill that crack. Now this is a nice narrow crack, so this works perfectly, but as I get down here and I fall into this hole, I can fill that too just by waiting a second, let the joint compound fill the hole, and just continue along.
Now you might think about using caulk for something like this, but the problem with caulk is it's not sandable. Here using joint compound, you can sand it down in order to blend it in with the adjacent area.
And once you apply it like that, then you just want to smooth it out with your finger. And unlike caulk, once this dries, if you want to smooth it out further, you just use a damp cloth. Wipe it down, and then you just paint it to match the drywall.
Our kitchen renovation is working out great. Our trim carpenter was here just a couple days ago and installed all of our base molding, our crown molding, and all of the trim around the windows. Now by getting all of this complete, we could turn Matt the painter loose on applying our primer over our raw drywall. This is so important when you have new drywall to seal off the pores. It'll make the extra coats of paint that you put on it go a lot further. Now our trim carpenter stopped at this point with our crown molding and our base molding so that we could install the cabinets first, then tie the molding right into the side of it. Now another big step that took place just a day or so ago is the installation of our cement backer board. Now this is 1/4 inch thick material that installs very much like plywood sheeting. You nail it about every 6 or 8 inches to provide a base or a foundation for the new ceramic tile that will be installed later after all of the cabinets are installed. This is so important on a wood subfloor like we have to provide that proper base for the ceramic. Hey, the homeowners are looking forward to the ceramic, but looking even more forward to the new cabinets. When the cabinets first arrive on the truck, it's hard to get a sense of what you have because what you see is a collection of odd-shaped pieces with as much unfinished wood as finished. The first few small pieces almost seem lost in the big open space, but once the larger cabinets get inside and start to go together, the details of the woodwork with its dark, rich stain really start to make a dramatic impact on the room. Between the pantry unit and these large base cabinets, the entire north wall of this kitchen will be covered with beautiful and very functional storage. It almost seems a shame to touch these cabinets with a drill, but Ron has to make a few minor alterations to ensure that each unit fits perfectly and everything is level and secure. With cabinets stained this dark, you have to make sure you have plenty of lights in the room, or it could end up kind of gloomy in your kitchen. Now, we're not worried about it here because we have plenty of light. We've got 3 pendant lights that will hang here over the island. We have lots of perimeter lighting with our recessed lights, and you may notice wires hanging down. These will be connected to under cabinet lights. It'll provide great task lighting for all the different areas of the countertop. Now let me give you a quick tour of the cabinets and you'll see how this kitchen will be laid out. Well, obviously a refrigerator going here, and this is real popular these days, getting your refrigerator completely covered on all sides by cabinetry. Plenty of storage up above, here and here, microwave here, double oven here. And after all of the countertops are in, this piece of cabinetry will be permanently installed here and serve as an appliance garage. Now the countertop itself will be the bottom of the appliance garage. That way you can have your coffee pot or your espresso machine. You can pull it out and use it, then tuck it back in and nobody will be able to see it. Here we'll have the kitchen sink. We've got a couple little tilt outs here that are always nice space savers. Next to that we have dishwasher and even more countertop space, but check this pantry out. I mean, everybody loves pantries, and this one definitely is a nice one. All kinds of room in here and all adjustable shelves so that when the homeowners start moving in, they can start putting their food in and they can adjust those shelves so that they can maximize every inch of space they have to store that food. Of course, the focal point in this kitchen is the island itself, and this is really going to be impressive. First of all, they've really thought ahead on this, and they have 3 drawers here, which really is good for storage, and even a little cutlery insert here on the top drawer. Then we'll have a cooktop here. Next to that will be something the homeowners really wanted, an ice maker, and something that's always attractive in a kitchen, a wine rack. Then out on the edge there you can see these iron supports, angle supports, which will help support the countertop, which will provide this overhang for a nice little breakfast bar. Hey, this thing is moving along real well, and our next step is to install the ceramic floor. Our tile setter Clint is installing these tiles in a diagonal pattern, which lots of homeowners find very attractive. It's a popular style because laying the tiles this way makes the space appear to be even larger. And with big 18 by 18 inch tiles like these in a 400 square foot room, this place seems downright massive. The process is pretty much the same as any other tile installation. However, for a diagonal job, proper layout is a must so that the edges are symmetrical, and as a rule, these jobs require a bit more time and material, and because so many cuts will be made to finish the job. I can tell already, even without the grout, this will be just what we need to tie everything together in this kitchen renovation. Hey, the grouting's next, right after our best new product of the week.
Let's join Danny at the Home Center to check out this week's best new product.
Dealing with the clogged drain around your home is never a pleasant task, but you have a number of options to solve this problem. One, you can use a liquid drain cleaner. There's a lot of those out there, and you pour it in the problem drain and kind of wait for it to work. Or you can use this reliable tool that we all have around our home. It works pretty good for unclogging most drain problems. Now, sometimes you may have a severely clogged drain and you'll have to use what the professionals use, a plumber snake or some of the other industrial type of tools available for that. But we found something that's kind of in the middle of the pack. It's called the clear drain. Now the way this works is, first of all, you have an adapter that attaches to the bottom of the clear drain to adapt it to almost any type of drain, whether it's a toilet or one of your sinks. Then you have a CO2 cartridge that provides a burst of compressed air to unclog even the most stubborn drain problem. First of all, you put a little power disc in the clear drain. Then on the top of the handle you drop in the CO2 cartridge. Then you hold it down once you have it in place for 5 seconds to provide that burst that will clear the drain. Now, as I said, it works off of CO2 cartridges, and when you need some more, they're available in refills as well. Our kitchen renovation is still in a bit of chaos because we're right at the very end of all of the appliances and plumbing fixtures being installed. That'll be finished soon. Boy, there's been a lot of work taking place around here over the last few days. The granite arrived on the job in a big way, literally. The island top was one enormous piece of granite that took 5 men to lift, but the fit was perfect and it's beautiful. The other smaller pieces continued the transformation of the room, and once they were all fit in place, they were carefully glued together to complete the job. Somewhere in the chaos, Clint was back to apply the grout to our ceramic tile floor, which left us needing only appliances to make this place into a real kitchen. It looked a lot like Christmas with open boxes and packing material everywhere, but it was all necessary to get the last few pieces of the puzzle in place for Rob and Tina. This kitchen is looking a lot better, which is good because the homeowners, Rob and Tina Hinkle, have dropped by. Well, guys, things are almost complete, and I know you're going to be doing a lot of the cooking, so I guess you're ready to go here.
I am real excited, ready to get back in here and put all this stuff to use.
I know you kind of really helped a lot on the design, and I know you put a lot of thought into it. It's really set up very well in here.
We wanted the island to be the centerpiece of the kitchen, and kind of, you know, a place for everybody to get together and have a good time. And then I concentrated also on where the different things would be located to allow me to cook. The refrigerator, the sink, the cooktop, and so forth.
Yeah, you got a lot of space here, and I like the little overhang here. I guess you have some bar stools planned for that?
We do. We have got 4 bar stools that we've got on order and ready to get them here and get them in.
Yeah, I know that's kind of the frustrating part when you get to this part in a job, that having to wait for those furniture deliveries.
Exactly.
And we're moving right along. Unfortunately, we had a little damage to a couple of the doors. Our cabinet man's in the process of replacing those, so that won't take long. I love the fixtures that you picked out here on the little pendants.
Thank you. They're a little bit more modern than I usually would go with, but the lady helped us pick out the lights and suggested them, and I feel like they work well with the stovetop and all the other appliances since they're all stainless steel.
Yeah, they look like they're all from the same suite, more or less.
Exactly.
And the fixture over here in the eating area is a little bit different, kind of almost
It
an
is.
old world look.
It is. That's one of my favorite things, favorite fixtures, I guess, of everything. So I'm excited about that. It'll be pretty over our breakfast table when we get
without
in.
doubt. You got plenty of room in here. What did you have in mind as far as the shape of the table?
We're going to try and go with rectangle, something that can extend to pretty big and anywhere from 6 to 10 people.
Oh, is that right?
So,
So you're going to have plenty of room in here
Yeah.
then. All right, that's great. Well, Rob, it won't be long. Everything will be complete, and you can get to work in the kitchen then.
I'm ready to move in and put it to use.
Well, it should work out great. Thanks, guys. And when we come back, we're going to give a little bit of time for Rob and Tina to move everything in, and we'll show you how we started this project right up to the completion, right after our Around the Yard.
Let's head outside for Around the Yard with lawn and garden expert Tricia Craven-Worley.
Tricia, I don't know any active gardeners that don't have a compost pile.
Well, Danny, neither do I, because it is one of the most beneficial tools in the garden, and it's so easy to do. You know, I actually have this compost bin. I wish I had about 3 more, and I also have a compost pile elsewhere in the garden. But you know, you put all of your kitchen matter, no meat ever, but anything that is vegetable, scraps from the garden, all sorts of things in here. And in time, you know, the leaves, the grass, everything breaks down and it becomes fabulous compost and mulch. Another really important thing that I add are coffee grounds.
Well, that's a lot of coffee somebody's been drinking.
Yeah, well, actually, I haven't drunk all this coffee. There are some coffee shops across the United States that actually save their coffee in filters for crazy gardeners like me.
Oh, do they sell it to you?
No, it's actually, they just have it there and you can take it. And it's so wonderful because, as you can see, the coffee grounds and the filters themselves are all biodegradable. Now, what's so wonderful about coffee is that worms love it.
Oh, okay, and that's an important part of a compost pile,
Right.
is having the earthworms in there.
That's right. Well, the coffee helps the compost pile be active, meaning, you know, continue the breakdown process. The earthworms, because they're eating it, leave their castings, and that creates this wonderful soil. So it's a very symbiotic relationship for everybody, and I just love it.
All of the details have been completed on this kitchen renovation. You know, a lot of time was taken in the design and creation of the plan for this kitchen, and certainly it took a while to execute that plan, but the Hinkles now have the type of kitchen they really wanted, which is far different than the kitchen they had before. The old kitchen was certainly neat and functional, but small and not exactly up to date. Now we have a nice large layout that includes the breakfast area, and Rob got the island he wanted with the cooktop and space for the kids. The new cabinets are even more functional, and they add a warm, rich feel to the kitchen. The light-colored ceramic floor and granite countertops create a nice contrast to the cabinets and balance the room very well. Kitchen remodeling is incredibly popular these days, and if you're planning on remodeling your kitchen, I hope we've been able to provide you some ideas in this week's show. We'll see you next week. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around and continue the home improving fun.